So good morning. Let us start the lecture. Open source software and hardware, elective 1, DET 3107. So open source software and hardware course outcomes are to have an introductory knowledge of concept of open and free software and hardware, introduction to the Arduino hardware, Raspberry Pi, Internet of the Things, to get an in-depth knowledge of Arduino software, that is IDE, Integrated Development Environment, IDE. Simple programs, interfacing of basic hardware modules with the Arduino to acquire knowledge of interfacing and programming of Arduino for ADC, DC motor, servo motor, Bluetooth, Zigbee, Wi-Fi and PWM programming. To understand the details regarding the LaTeX software with its installation, programming, processing, software facilities useful for various document preparation. To understand the detail regarding the Scilab software, it is installation, programming, processing, console, editor, graphics window, software facilities useful for various technical calculations. To study KiCad as a electronic computer aided design ECAD tool for designing circuit schematic, electric rule checking, netlist generation, mapping components and designing PCB. So these are the outcomes, and let us move to the slides. Yesterday we have left with. So we have seen the FOSS is the combination of free software foundation and open source initiative. Okay. So combinedly it is called FOSS, free and open source software. So open source software criteria or 10 criteria are there. Okay. Out of that, these are the major criteria. We have seen software redistribution, source code availability, integrity, distribution of the properties of the license, derived work, anti-discrimination. So various licenses are there. Different licenses allows the programmers to modify the software with various conditions attached according to the Black Duck knowledge base. Black Duck knowledge base collected the all the list of all, they listed all the projects, open source projects, and they found that there are 2 million open source projects or more than that. Out of that, 5 most popular licenses they are here. That is MIT licenses, GNU General Public License GPL 2.0, Apache license 2.0, then GNU General Public License 3.0, then BSD license 2.0 with the 3 clause new and revised one. So these are the most popular, most used licenses. Okay. Then this is regarding licenses we have discussed yesterday. If source code is changed, then we have to declare that and all that. We have discussed the advantages also, and we have discussed the popular types of various softwares like web browser is for Mozilla Firefox, then email client is Thunderbird, then scripting language PHP, then programming language Python, then web server Apache HTTP. Okay. So these are the applications. Web browser is one application, email client is one more application, scripting language is one application, programming language, C programming language, Python programming language, Java programming language. So these are the applications. Programming language is application. Web server is application, in which Apache HTTP is example for open source. Okay. Then developer has various tools, that is the communication tool is there, distribution revision control system is there, bug tracker is there, testing and debugging tools are there. How they are using that we have discussed yesterday. Any open source is to be developed, the project is to be carried out, conducted, then there must be communication tool among all the members of the open source. Now we are having in the pandemic situation, and we are having the communication tool, isn't it? Now we are communicating online. So this communication tool we are using, isn't it? So in this way, there must be the communication tools. Only 10 people remaining. So I will take the attendance in some time. And ज्या लोकांना नेटवर्क प्रॉब्लेम असतो, ज्यांना कदाचित हे ऐकायला डिस्टर्बन्स होतं, त्यांच्यासाठी मी युट्यूबला अपलोड करतो हे लेक्चर परत लगेच दुपारपर्यंत, आणि त्यांनी युट्यूबला जाऊन परत बघू शकता. तुम्ही हे लेक्चर कधीही बघू शकता, आज उद्या रेग्युलर नंतर रिपिटेटिव्हली बघू शकता. बट डू विजिट ऑन द युट्यूब ऑल्सो, डू वॉच ऑन द युट्यूब ऑल्सो, बिकॉज इफ आज हेवी रेन होता सकाळी, तसं रेनमुळे वगैरे किंवा लाईट गेल्यामुळे तुमच्याकडे कनेक्टिव्हिटी जर डिस्टर्ब झाली, तर कनेक्टिव्हिटीमुळे हा लेक्चर जर डिस्टर्ब झाला, तर तुम्ही नक्की जाऊन अपलोड केलेले लेक्चर परत बघा. हेच लेक्चर परत युट्यूबवर तुम्हाला मिळेल. So we have seen the communication tool is important. Whatever we are communicating now is the virtual meeting or virtual conference VC, and there are emails, there are real-time messaging, there are forums, there are wikis, isn't it? So these are used for by the project members to conduct the project, to carry out the project. The distributed revision control systems are there. So what these systems are there? These are distributed all over in the project area, geographical area, wherever the candidate may be there in the India, suppose in the Europe, in the other Asian countries and all that. So distributed revision control systems, what it does, when multiple developers in different geographical locations modify data and file, this system manage the different versions and update immediately, so that all will know that such and such member, such and such organization has developed or updated or changed this course or this source code. So immediately we get to know, and we will start the next thing in that. So it will have the more organized and manage the form of the project carrier. So similarly, the bug tracking is there, the track list, task lists are there, and these features allow the large scale project to monitor the issues and keep the track of their fixes. Whoever have the fixes, like suppose I have one fixing and I have debugged the software. So you are having one fixing, so other one group is having one fixing. So all will know all the fixes as we have the bug tracker and the task list to observe or to study. So this bug tracker system is installed, and that system can have the details of all this. Then testing and debugging tools. Okay, testing and debugging tool, what it does, these features automate testing testing during the system integration and debug other programs. Okay, so testing and debugging tool, what it does, so we know the testing, if one project or one software is developed, suppose banking software or student scholarship software or admission software, how to test that it is working properly. So though suppose student admission software is there, lakhs of students are applying for that, and thousands of students and lakhs of students, and then how lakh of users are collected together, and they are asked just enter your data and we'll check this. It is not possible. So it is tested with the help of again software. Okay, software is required to test. So these are the testing and debugging tools. So communication tool is one software, distribution revision control system is one more software, bug tracker and task list is one more software, testing and debugging tools are again one type of the software. These are also software. To develop the software, we require software tools. So these are also there. So these are useful for developers, isn't it? So this slide yesterday we have discussed. Now we will continue the bottom line. Okay, so what is there is in the open source software is an alternative property software. Okay, the participating in an OSS project can be a pathway to building a career in software development, allowing programmers to improve their skills by working on the biggest software programs in the world. For example, Facebook is there, Google is there, LinkedIn is there, all release OSS. So developers can share knowledge, innovate the solutions and contribute to stable functional products. Okay. So if somebody participates in OSS project, there can be a pathway to build the career in the software development. it is possible to build a career in the software development. Software development is a one career. So software developers are there who build the software. Okay. So if in this moment somebody participates, he get to know the softwares and he can, or the organization can develop the software. So allowing the programmers to improve their skills. This OSS allows the programmer to improve their skill by working on the bigger software programs in the world. So worldwide, whatever the software programs are going on, all the software programs uh, will be allowing all the users to study the whatever going on projects. So participation in the OSS project can be very useful. One can have the career in that, one can have the program development in that. One can share the inputs for developing the program, whatever going on programs are there. Example, Facebook, Google, LinkedIn, all release the OSS. So developers can share knowledge, innovate the solutions and contribute to stable functional products. What the developer can do? He can share the knowledge, innovate the solution and contribute to stable functional products. Okay. Share the knowledge. Everybody can share the knowledge. Everybody can innovate the solutions. Innovate means नवीन शोध लावणे, innovation, innovate the solutions and contribute the stable functional product. Product must be stable, it must be functional. Okay. असं नाही की प्रोडक्ट सॉफ्टवेअर डेव्हलप केला पण तो फंक्शनच करत नाही, कामच नाही करत किंवा तो स्टेबलच नाही, क्रॅश होतो. So it should be stable and functional product. Okay. So this is the bottom line. The open source software and alternative property proprietary softwares are there. So if we participate in OSS project, it can be a pathway to build the career. Okay. In software development, it allows the programmer to improve the skill because allows the working on bigger software programs. Examples are Facebook, Google, LinkedIn, etc. and many more are there. All release OSS. So developers can share the knowledge, innovate the solution and contribute to stable functional product. Okay. So what about the GNU project? You must have uploaded your assignment, GNU project, isn't it? The GNU project is basically started for developing the GNU operating system, and further it is continued and that expanded for various other projects, software projects. What is the GNU project? The GNU operating system is a complete free software system. GNU operating system is a complete free software system. Free software system. Okay, it's simple. It is upward compatible with Unix. Okay, आता upward compatible बरं का काय असेल बघू आपण. It is upward compatible with Unix. Unix is operating system. Linux, Unix, these are the operating systems. Okay, Windows is the operating system, isn't it? Android is the operating system. Android कशामध्ये असते? स्मार्टफोन मध्ये असते अँड्रॉइड ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टीम. युनिक्स कशामध्ये असते? कॉम्प्युटरमध्ये असते. लिनिक्स कशामध्ये असते? कॉम्प्युटरमध्ये असते. विंडो कशामध्ये असते? कॉम्प्युटरमध्ये असते. विंडो बेस्ड स्मार्टफोन पण असतात, इजंट इट? तर ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टीम म्हणजे काय? तर त्या पर्टिक्युलर कॉम्प्युटरला, सिस्टीमला ऑपरेट होण्यासाठी जे सॉफ्टवेअर लागतं त्याला ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टीम म्हणतात. ओके. सो GNU is basically started for developing the operating system. As we know, yesterday we have seen it. Now what do you mean by upward compatible? Upward compatible. Before that, what do you mean by compatible? Compatible म्हणजे काय बुवा? Compatible म्हणजे काय असतं आधी ते बघू आपण. What do you mean by compatible? Suppose one circuit is there with us, one IC is there. We are having another IC, suppose digital IC 7400, 7404, 7408, 7432. These are digital ICs. What do you mean by compatible? Compatible means suppose one circuit, one IC is used and one circuit is made. Okay, build one circuit on breadboard suppose. One more student build the circuit on breadboard with the other IC. Okay, so now two different ICs are there. One IC gate is giving output 1010 output is given, is outputted, IC outputted the output. Now you both student or both groups, what you decided? You decided that let us join the output of this IC to the input of next IC. Okay. Now one student, your friend raised the question, it will work or it will burn out. Let us check first. So all become alert. Yes, we have to check it. Whether the first IC output is connected to second IC input, whether the IC will burn. So one more student says, which IC will burn? The second IC will burn or first? The third friend says, no, both ICs may burn. And it is correct. He was correct. If the ICs are not compatible to each other, then ICs may burn. Both ICs may burn. Both circuits may burn. So what do you mean by compatibility? Compatibility means one IC properties should match with other IC properties. So matching of properties is called compatibility. It is called compatibility. One circuit matches with other circuit. It is called compatibility. Okay. So compatibility is nothing but both the circuits, both the softwares, all the circuits, all the softwares are having same characteristics and properties. What are the different characteristics and properties of the embedded system? We have started yesterday, isn't it? Embedded system. What are the characteristics? So this is characteristic, cost is characteristic, then PCB compaction is characteristic, space is, isn't it? We have seen in the embedded system lecture yesterday, and we will continue today also the same thing. So compatibility means all the characteristics, properties should match with each other. Suppose one IC is giving 100 milliampere current as output, and second IC is having capacity of only 20 milliampere. So 100 milliampere current will burn that IC, isn't it? Or suppose the second IC is having the input resistance very low, and it draws, if first IC is able to give the output current of 50 milliampere or 10 milliampere, but second IC draws it 100 milliampere. So first IC will burn. So if the current are not matching, if both the ICs current capacities are not same, they are dissimilar, different, then ICs may burn. So this is not compatible ICs. So ICs must be compatible, hardware must be compatible to each other. Similarly, software must be compatible to each other. Operating system must be compatible to each other. Now one Unix is there and next version of the Unix is there. Okay. One more version of the Unix is there. Windows 98 was there, Windows 2003 was there, Windows again 8 was there, 7 was there, then 10 was there, and so on, isn't it? Windows XP was there. All these are versions of the Windows operating system. Okay, we know, isn't it? We have used the computers. All the students use the computers. So some computers are operating on 98, some are on XP, some are on Windows XP, some are on Windows 2003, some are on Windows 2007, or some are working on this Windows 10, and again recent more. Okay, so many operating systems are there. Okay, so all these operating systems are having various versions. Okay, now first suppose operating system is developed, that is first version. मोबाईल मध्ये सुद्धा तुम्ही पाहिला असेल, मोबाईल इज हॅव्हिंग different versions of operating system. Android 1 Android 2, Android 3, and for common people to get to know, because they cannot remember Android 1, Android 2, Android 3, the companies have given the name of uh, sweets. Okay, isn't it? The candies, the various candies name are given, chocolate name, isn't it? Some of the Kit Kat and all other names are there, isn't it? So recently, which operating system is there? You must be knowing what is the name of that, isn't it? Similarly, the various versions are there for the operating system. Then these versions, first version, then next will be second version, new version. Next will be third version, new version. So second version will be upper version, more facilities will be there than the first version. Fifth version will be upward version than the previous four versions. Eighth version will be upward version than the before seven version. Now, so what do you mean by upward that we are now knowing? Upward means next versions. Now what do you mean by upward compatible? Upward compatible means suppose one Unix is there, okay, and one more Unix is developed which is advanced the next version, then lower version Unix can be compatible with the can work with the upward developed Unix operating system. So there is upward compatibility. So GNU project, it is upward compatible with Unix. Whatever Unix was there, based on that Unix, GNU project is developed the operating system, isn't it? In GNU project, last lecture, yesterday's lecture we have seen, GNU project is based on the Unix. So GNU project is upward compatible with Unix. GNU stands for GNU's not Unix. GNU stands for GNU's not Unix. That means GNU is not Unix, but it is based on Unix. It is similar on Unix. Unix, it can have the upward compatibility with Unix, but GNU is not Unix. So GNU is not Unix, is GNU. It stands for GNU's not Unix. So it is pronounced as the syllable with the hard G, GNU, GNU, like that. So Richard Stallman made the initial announcement. Richard Stallman, isn't it? So he started the movement, isn't it? Richard Stallman made the initial announcement in GNU project in September 1983. So it is September only. Now we are in the September 2021. So around 34 years back, 34 years, not 34, 44 years back, he has announced 54 years back. So GNU project is announced by Richard Stallman in September 1983. 54 years are there. The project to develop the GNU system is called GNU project. Okay. The project to develop the GNU system is called GNU project. The GNU project was started in 1983, a way of bringing back a cooperative spirit in computing community. In computing, who are the, whatever the computing community is there, computing community means all the computer using community, all the computer developing community, all the computer engineers, IT engineers, electronics engineers and other engineers who are using and developing the computers. That is called computing community. Among them, there must be cooperative spirit. There must be ekta asli pahije, ekta, cooperation, cooperative spirit. So GNU project was started in 1983, a way of bringing back the cooperative spirit in the computing community. To make the cooperation possible by removing the obstacles. To make the cooperation possible by removing the obstacles imposed by owners of proprietary software. proprietary software have some obstacles which are imposed, because they are saying that this is our product and we have developed that and we are having the intellectual property right on that, and that's why they have some obstacles. We cannot share the source code, we do not allow to improve the software, and so on. Therefore, the cooperation movement is for making cooperation possible, for removing the obstacles imposed by owner of proprietary software. Proprietary software's owners are there. They have put some obstacles. To remove that obstacles, this make a cooperation possible for removing the same. Now, every computer user needs an operating system. Every computer user needs an operating system. Okay. Computer user needs an operating system. If there is a no free operating system, okay, if there is no free operating system, then computer can't be started without proprietary software. Suppose there is no operating system available freely, free operating system, then computer will be started with proprietary software, and proprietary software means we have to purchase the proprietary software. Okay. If there is no free operating system, then computer can't be started without proprietary software. So we require the proprietary software in that case. So the first software on the free software agenda obviously had to be a free operating system. कॉम्प्युटर ऑनच होणार नाही. कॉम्प्युटर ऑन झाला तर पुढच्या ऍप्लिकेशन्स आपल्याला वापरता येतील. जर कॉम्प्युटर ऑनच नाही झाला तर डेव्हलपमेंटच्या सॉफ्टवेअरचं घेऊन करणार काय? पहिल्यांदा ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टीम पाहिजे, कॉम्प्युटर ऑन झाला पाहिजे. सो व्हेरी फर्स्ट प्रोजेक्ट वॉज फ्री ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टीम. First, they have to develop, they decided to develop free operating system. It was decided to make the operating system compatible with Unix. Unix is compatible because that time the Unix was there and the free operating system. Unix is also operating system. So free operating system should be compatible or based on Unix. So, and design was proven and portable, and that design was, because the Unix design was proven and portable. Unix was proven because it is continuous under use, and it was also portable. So its compatibility makes it easy for Unix users to switch from Unix to GNU. Okay, its compatibility is there, then user can very easily switch from Unix to GNU, because both are this GNU is upward compatible to the Unix. So if the GNU is installed, then also whatever the already developed softwares are there, or already developed programs or documents are there, those can be very easily used in the GNU also. So all the softwares developed in Unix can be used in the GNU also. So easily it can be possible to switch from Unix to GNU. So that's why GNU is made upward compatible with the Unix. Okay. So Unix like operating system includes the kernel compilers, editors, text formatters, mail software, graphical interface, libraries, games, and many other things which are also there in all the operating systems. Operating systems are having similar all applications. So kernel is there, so basically the kernel is there who is controlling all the operating system operations. Then compilers are there, so to compile or convert it into the machine language. Then editors are there to edit the whatever English like program codes or source code. Text formatters are there to format the text, justification and central and bold and italic and all that formatting is there, isn't it? You do the formatting, isn't it, of reports and all. Text formatters are there. Then mail software is there for emailing and all that. And then graphical interface is there. So because operating system use the graphical interfaces, mouse clicking and all the icons, etc. All these are graphical interfaces, no? So libraries are there, all the software libraries, the games are there, and many other things are there. Whatever required things are there in the computer, all the things are there in the operating system. Okay. So the operating system is thus writing whole operating system is very large job. So the operating system is very large job because all this is to be written, all these to be developed. That is, compiler is to be developed, kernel is to be developed, compiler is to be developed, editor is to be developed, text formatting is developed, then mail software is developed, graphical interfaces are developed, libraries are developed, and games are developed, and many other things are developed. So this becomes very large job. This project becomes operating system development is very large job. So writing a whole operating system is a very large job. Okay. So what is an application program interface? In our syllabus we are having the API also. What is application programming interface? Now we have seen some information about the operating system of open source operating system. Now we'll switch to some concept of application programming interface, API. API is also there in our syllabus. आपल्या syllabus मध्ये API सुद्धा आहे. So what is the API? What is application programming interface? API. An API is defined as a specification for possible interactions with a software component. What is API? API is defined as a specification of possible interaction with the software component. So what is meaning of this definition? For understanding this definition statement, first imagine, visualize, there is a computer, there is an operating system, and we have seen in the operating system there is a kernel, there is an editor, there is a text formatter, there is a compiler, isn't it? Many tools are there, libraries are there, other facilities are there. All these are components, various components, software components. Kernel is a software component, library files are software components, compiler is a software component, OS software components are there. So this is about the operating system software components. Similarly, if banking software is there, there are different software components. If student admission software is there, there are different software components. If suppose Aadhaar card software is there to generate the Aadhaar card, then there are different components in Aadhaar card or student identification MIS like softwares. We have to take the photograph, we have to take the thumb impression, we have to take the eye pupil impression readings, isn't it? All that those are stored somewhere in the cloud, and all that are connected to some person name. That is called data structure. Okay, one person name is given one Aadhaar card number. Suppose DG Jadhav, Devidas Jadhav is having some 16 numbers are there in the Aadhaar card, 4444. So with that number, all the thumb impression, eye pupil impression, and image, face recognition, everything is stored. Date of birth, address, okay, Aadhaar number. To store all these Indians, whatever the 100 crore, 120 crore people in the India, it is requiring a very huge database. So this database is one component. The image is one component. The thumb recognition is another component. Softwares. So these are the software components. Now, how these software components are interacting among each other? How the compiler is interacting with kernel, how kernel is interacting with the text formatter, how the editor is interacting with the text formatter. Okay, so there must be the interactions among the all the components. All component interaction must be there, isn't it? All component interaction must be there. Interaction means internally, whenever the project is functioning, there must be exchange of the data among the components. Suppose the banking is there, you inserted the ATM card into the ATM. The card reader program will read the card. Card reader program is one component. Then that card reader program gives that data to, suppose, the ATM main program. Then ATM main program, what it does, ATM main program send this card information to the server program. So server program is one component, ATM main program is another software component, card reader program is another software component. So these software components are having interactions among them. Card data is given, this is given, that yes, okay, valid, approved signal is given by the server. So that signal is coming to the main program. So main program will give the interaction to the currency counting program. So currency counting program will count the currency and it run the motoring action, and that currency or notes will come out, isn't it? So these all software components are interacting with each other. So what is API? Again we read the definition. An API is defined as a specification of possible interaction with a software component. Okay. Now one word is remaining in this specification. Other things we have seen. API, other things we have seen. Specification. Specification means, again we are knowing the compatibility. Okay. So 16 bit है, 24 bit, 64 bit है, 32 bit है, 16 bit है, 8 bit है. These are the specifications. Okay, how much it is, how much Mbps is there, what is the synchronization clock frequency. All these are the specifications. How the address is kept, how the data formatting is done, what is the data frame, how data frame is there, where is the data, where is the header, where is the teller, where is the error checking, these bits are there. All this is fixed, it is standardized, it is specified. So these are the specifications. One program should know the specification of other program, and or all the programs must use same specification. Okay. So specification are there. Okay. So these specifications are nothing but API. So an API is defined as a specification of possible interactions with a software component. How to interact? Polling methods are there, interrupt methods are there, microprocessor you must have, microcontroller you must have studied in the second year. So peripheral interact with the processor, processor interact with the peripheral. So sensor interact with the processor with the help of polling method or interrupt method, isn't it? So there is a fixed specification, fixed the method. Similarly, an API is defined as the specification of possible interactions with a software components. API is defined as specification of possible interactions with a software component. सॉफ्टवेअर कंपोनंटचे इंटरॅक्शनचं स्पेसिफिकेशन, म्हणजे इंटरॅक्शन करायची असेल तर डेटा जर फ्रेम जाणार असेल तर त्या फ्रेम मध्ये किती कुठं डेटा असेल, कुठं हेडर ॲड्रेस कुठं असेल, टेलर कुठं लावलेला असेल, किंवा CRC चेक कुठं लावलेला असेल, एरर चेकिंग कोड वगैरे लावलेलं कुठं असेल, हे सगळं ॲड्रेस कुठं असेल, फिजिकल ॲड्रेस कुठं असेल, लॉजिकल ॲड्रेस असेल का, आणि आणखी वेगळं एन्क्रिप्शन काय असेल. हॅलो स्पीकर माईक बंद करा तुमचं. एन्क्रिप्शन काय असेल, एन्क्रिप्शनचा कोड कुठं असेल, ऑल दिस एन्क्रिप्शन की पण त्यात असते एम्बेड केलेली, हे फिक्स असतं. सो दॅट इज कॉल्ड स्पेसिफिकेशन. सो आपण त्याच्या डिटेलमध्ये जात नाही आता, आपल्याला जायची गरज नाही. नंतर जेव्हा तुम्ही जाल सॉफ्टवेअर डेव्हलपमेंटमध्ये, इट इज व्हेरी इझी, यू कॅन अंडरस्टँड इट व्हेरी इझिली. ओके. किंवा आता तुमच्या याच्यामध्ये लेक्चरमध्ये सुद्धा कॉम्प्युटर नेटवर्कच्या वगैरे तुम्हाला सापडू शकतं. सो एपीआय इज डिफाइंड ॲज अ स्पेसिफिकेशन. हे स्पेसिफिकेशन आहेत, जे कम्युनिकेशन करायचं आहे ते कुठल्या पद्धतीनं, त्याला काय रूल्स आहेत, ते रूल्स, ते स्पेसिफिकेशन. So API is defined as the specification of possible interaction with a software component. API is defined as specification of possible interaction with a software component. Okay, isn't it? You understood, I think. API is defined as the specification of possible interaction. There are possible interaction with the software component. So all these possible interaction for the software components require some specification, standardization, some fix the rules. So these fix the rules, standardization or specification is an API. So application programming interface is there. That API is defined as the specification of possible interaction with software component. What does it mean exactly? Okay, what does it mean exactly? Let us imagine an vehicle as a software component. One vehicle is there as a software component. त्या व्हेकलचा एपीआय काय असेल? इट्स एपीआय वुड बी इन्क्लूड द इन्फॉर्मेशन अबाउट व्हॉट इट कॅन डू, लाईक ॲक्सेलरेट, ब्रेक, टर्न, आणि ऑडिओ सिस्टीम, पॉप पॉप वाजेल ना, हॉर्न वाजेल कोण समोर आला तर, किंवा इंडिकेटर, रिव्हर्स टाकताना, रिव्हर्स घेत असताना काहीतरी म्युझिक वाजतं, ती ऑडिओ सिस्टीम असते. किंवा इंडिकेटर दिलं लेफ्टचा किंवा राईटचा, तेव्हा काहीतरी टोंग टिंग टिंग अलार्म वाजतो, ते ऑडिओ सिस्टीम असते. तो कुठले कुठले ऍक्शन्स आहेत, कुठल्या कुठल्या प्रोसेसेस आहेत. ऍक्सेलरेट करतो, गाडी पळायला लागते. ब्रेक करतो, गाडी थांबते. टर्न करतो, गाडी इकडे वळते तिकडे. ऑडिओ सिस्टीम्स असतात. सपोज व्हेकल इज देअर ॲज अ सिस्टीम, then these are the various what we can say the components. Okay, so vehicle असेल तर त्याचे कॉम्पोनंट काय असतील, एपीआय काय असतील, would include information. API means information about what can do, like acceleration. ॲक्सेलरेशनचं एपीआय काय असेल, इन्फॉर्मेशन. तर तुम्ही जर ॲक्सेलरेशन पेडल प्रेस केला पायानी तर फोर व्हीलर किंवा बस तुमची पळायला लागेल. किंवा टू व्हीलर असेल तर राईट हँडनी ती हातामध्ये जे हँडल असेल त्याला आपण ट्विस्ट केलं की ॲक्सेलरेशन वाढेल, किंवा अँटी क्लॉकवाईज केलं तर ॲक्सेलरेशन कमी होईल. क्लॉकवाईज केलं ॲक्सेलरेशन वाढेल, अँटी क्लॉकवाईज फिरवलं ॲक्सेलरेशन कमी होईल. ब्रेक म्हणजे काय, पायामध्ये जे आपल्याला दिलेला असतो किंवा हातामध्ये टू व्हीलरला, तर तो ओढला की आपल्याला ब्रेक लागतो. आणि हँडल असेल तो टर्न केला की गाडी टर्न होते. ही इन्फॉर्मेशन आहे, ह्याला एपीआय म्हणतात. हे स्पेसिफिकेशन आहे. ह्याला टर्न केले की गाडी टर्न होते, हे स्पेसिफिकेशन आहे. त्या टर्न करण्याच्या ऐवजी जर तुम्ही हँडल उचलायला लागला असं जागेतच, तर टर्न होईल का? हँडल उचलून टर्न होण्याचं स्पेसिफिकेशन नाही आहे. स्पेसिफिकेशन काय आहे, टर्न केलं तर चाक टर्न होईल, असं स्पेसिफिकेशन आहे. आणि ॲक्सेलरेटरला तुम्ही प्रेस केलात तर ॲक्सेलरेटर गाडी पळायला लागेल. ॲक्सेलरेशनला तुम्ही असं दोन्ही हातात धरून खडखड खडखड वाजवलं इकडं तिकडं तर काय होईल का? काही होणार नाही. ॲक्सेलरेशनला एकतर ॲक्सेलरेशन पेडलला एकतर वरती उचलायला लागेल, ॲक्सेलरेशन कमी होईल, किंवा खाली ढकलायला लागेल तर ॲक्सेलरेशन वाढेल. किंवा हातामध्ये आपल्याला हे असतं हँडलचं ॲक्सेलरेशन असतं टू व्हीलरचं, त्याला क्लॉकवाईज फिरवलं तर अँटीला क्लॉकवाईज फिरवलं, त्याला जोरात असं वाकडं केलं तर होईल का? काय होणार नाही. असं मोडलं त्याला आपण हातात धरून, असं टर्न ट्विस्ट केलं, ॲक्सेलरेशन वाढेल का? वाढणार नाही. तर एपीआय हा ट्विस्ट करायचा एपीआय नाही आहे, टर्न त्याला रोटेट करायचा एपीआय. सो ती इन्फॉर्मेशन जी आहे त्याचं स्पेसिफिकेशन काय, रोटेट करा तुम्ही. सिमिलरली सॉफ्टवेअर कंपोनंटला कसं तुम्ही हँडल करायचं म्हणजे ते सॉफ्टवेअर कंपोनंट काम करेल, ही जी इन्फॉर्मेशन आहे त्याला म्हणायचं ॲप्लिकेशन प्रोग्राम इंटरफेसेस. सो व्हेकलचं एक्झाम्पलमध्ये जर व्हेकल सॉफ्टवेअर कंपोनंट असेल, इट्स एपीआय वुड इन्क्लूड इन्फॉर्मेशन अबाउट व्हॉट इट कॅन डू, लाईक accelerate, brake, turn, audio system, etc. Okay. It would also include information about how you could make it do things. हे तुम्ही कसं करणार ही सुद्धा इन्फॉर्मेशन असते. म्हणजे ते टर्न केला, ट्विस्ट केला की ऍक्सेलरेशन वाढतं वगैरे ही इन्फॉर्मेशन आहे. आणि हा ऍक्सेलरेटर आहे ही इन्फॉर्मेशन आहे. ओके. आणि ऍक्सेलरेट होतो ही पण इन्फॉर्मेशन आहे. ही व्हेकल आहे, ही ऍक्सेलरेट होते, वेग वाढतो किंवा वेग कमी होतो किंवा पूर्ण थांबते किंवा ही वळते, इकडे वळते, तिकडे वळते, ही इन्फॉर्मेशन आहे. ओके. सो ह्या सगळ्या एपीआयज आहेत. Like to accelerate, put the foot on the fuel pedal and push. So this is information. So this is API. So all these information in case of the computer applications, computer software, they are called application programming interface. An API is defined as a specification of possible interactions with the software components. Software components. Okay. An API is defined as the specification of possible interactions with a software component. Okay. API is defined as specification of possible interaction with software component. Software component बरोबर इंटरॅक्शन करताना, त्याला वापरताना किंवा दोन सॉफ्टवेअर कंपोनंट एकमेकात इंटरॅक्ट करताना, डेटा शेअर करताना, डेटा एक्सचेंज करताना जे काही स्पेसिफिकेशनची गरज आहे त्याला, त्या स्पेसिफिकेशनला एपीआय म्हणतात. ओके. सो दिस इज अबाउट द एपीआय. एपीआय आर लॉंग लास्टिंग कन्सेप्ट in the computer programming. API are a part of developer tool set. API were used to connect code components running on the same machine. With the rise of ubiquitous networking, more and more public APIs, sometimes called open APIs, become available. API example are Google API, Facebook API, Java API, Twitter API, and so on. Every program has its own API. So API once developed are long lasting concept in the computer programming. It is always required. API are long lasting concept in the computer programming. So API are a part of developer tool set. If you are computer software developer, suppose you are software developer, then what is API for you? For you, API is a tool set. Tool set. समजा गाडी दुरुस्ती करणारा मेकॅनिक मिस्त्री आहे ना, तो मेकॅनिक आहे, तर त्याच्याकडे टूल सेट असते. नट काढण्यासाठी, बोल्ट काढण्यासाठी, प्लग काढण्यासाठी. टू व्हीलर आपला प्लग साफ करतो ना तो टू व्हीलरचं, तर त्याचा प्लग काढण्यासाठी पाहणा असतो, त्याच्याकडे टूल सेट असतात. तसं सॉफ्टवेअरचा जो डेव्हलपर असेल, तर तो सॉफ्टवेअरचा डेव्हलपर त्याच्यासाठी एपीआय जे असतात ना वेगवेगळे, ते सगळे टूल सेट आहेत. ओके. सो एपीआय आर द पार्ट ऑफ डेव्हलपर्स टूल सेट. डेव्हलपरचे वेगवेगळे टूल सेट असतात, त्यातला एपीआय पण टूल सेट आहे. म्हणजे एपीआयची माहिती घेऊन तो प्रोग्राम डेव्हलप करताना एपीआय जर त्याला माहीत असेल तर प्रोग्राम डेटा एक्सचेंज कसं करतील हे त्याला माहीत असतं, त्याच्यामुळे त्याप्रमाणे तो कोड लिहितो. कॉम्प्युटर कोड जेव्हा तो लिहिल, राईट करेल, डेव्हलप करेल, तेव्हा एपीआयची माहिती असेल त्याला, तर एपीआयच्या आधारे एपीआय प्रमाणे एपीआयची माहिती घेऊन एपीआय स्टडी करून त्याप्रमाणे तो डेव्हलप करेल, सॉफ्टवेअरला डेव्हलप करेल. सो एपीआय आर पार्ट ऑफ डेव्हलपर्स टूल सेट्स. टूल सेट आहे तो. जसं स्क्रू ड्रायव्हर असेल, हातोडा असेल, असे टूल सेट असतात ना इंजिनियर्सचे किंवा मेकॅनिकल इंजिनियरचे, तसं एपीआय इज द पार्ट ऑफ टूल सेट्स. वेगवेगळ्या टूल सेट मधला हा एक टूल आहे तो. एपीआय वेअर यूज टू कनेक्ट कोड कॉम्पोनंट्स रनिंग ऑन सेम मशीन. एकाच मशीनवर वेगवेगळे कोडचे कॉम्पोनंट रन होत असतील ना, एक्झिक्यूट होत असतील, त्याला कनेक्ट करण्यासाठी म्हणजे डेटा याचा तिकडं त्याचा इकडं असं कनेक्ट करण्यासाठी इंटरकनेक्शनसाठी इंटरॅक्शनसाठी एपीआय वापरलं जातं. एपीआय वेर यूज टू कनेक्ट कोड कंपोनंट्स रनिंग ऑन सेम मशीन. ओके. विथ द राईज ऑफ युबिक्युअस नेटवर्किंग वाढत गेलं, सगळीकडं नेटवर्किंग पसरत गेलं. more and more public APIs or sometimes called open APIs become available. म्हणजे जसं जसं नेटवर्क वाढत गेलं, जसं जसं UBIQUS network is grown, more and more public APIs are developed, become available. These public APIs are also called as open APIs. So more and more open APIs become available. APIs also become open. APIs are also programs. APIs are also standards, rules, tool sets. APIs can be checked with the programs, okay, if they are correct or not, or according to API the development may be there. For that the program ready programs are available. So API were used to connect code components running on same machine, and with the rise of ubiquitous networking, more and more public APIs, open APIs become available. ओपन एपीआय हे अवेलेबल व्हायला लागले. जसं जसं प्रोग्रामिंगचं काम वाढायला लागलं तसं तसं ओपन एपीआय भरपूर पब्लिक एपीआय अवेलेबल व्हायला लागले. एक्झाम्पल काय एपीआयचं? So Google API is there, Facebook API is there, Java API is there, Twitter API is there. Every program will have its own API, isn't it? All the programs will have their own APIs. Correct? Is it correct? बरोबर ना? So all the programs are having their own APIs. What is API? Yes, ऍप्लिकेशन प्रोग्रामिंग इंटरफेस. जे ऍप्लिकेशन प्रोग्राम असतात ना, ऍप्लिकेशन प्रोग्राम जे डेव्हलप करतात ना ऍप्लिकेशन प्रोग्राम्स, म्हणजे बँकिंग हे एक ऍप्लिकेशन आहे, स्टुडंट स्कॉलरशिप हे एक ऍप्लिकेशन आहे, आधार कार्ड ऍप्लिकेशन आहे, शिक्षकांचं पेमेंट होतं किंवा कॉलेजच्या टीचर्सचं नॉन टीचिंगचं पेमेंट होतं ते एक ऍप्लिकेशन आहे, सेवार्थ नावाचं ऍप्लिकेशन आहे. त्याच्यानंतर आपण याच्यात सेतूमध्ये जातो, तिथं ऍप्लिकेशनसाठी ऍप्लिकेशन प्रोग्राम आहे. असे पोस्टामध्ये जातो, पोस्ट रन होण्यासाठी ऍप्लिकेशन प्रोग्राम आहे. असे सगळे ऍप्लिकेशन प्रोग्राम्स. ओके. किंवा आपण युट्यूबला आपले अपलोड करतो ना लेक्चर्स, युट्यूबला हे एक ऍप्लिकेशन प्रोग्राम आहे, फेसबुक एक ऍप्लिकेशन प्रोग्राम आहे, गुगल ऍप्लिकेशन प्रोग्राम आहे, वेगवेगळे ऍप्लिकेशन प्रोग्राम आहे. फेसबुक ऍप्लिकेशन प्रोग्राम आहे, व्हॉट्सअप ऍप्लिकेशन प्रोग्राम आहे. तर हे सगळे जे ऍप्लिकेशन प्रोग्राम आहे त्याचे इंटरफेसेस अमंग इच अदर, इच कंपोनंट इंटरफेसेस, ऍप्लिकेशन प्रोग्रामिंग इंटरफेस इज एपीआय. ओके. So API example, Google API, Facebook API, Java API, Twitter API, etc. So API is application program interface. Application program interface are the specifications or standards of the exchange of the or interconnect of the components, software components. So these are the APIs. Now let us check the one more concept, and that is open source hardware. Open source hardware, OSH. OSS बघितलं आपण, ओपन सोर्स सॉफ्टवेअर. OSS ओपन सोर्स सॉफ्टवेअर पाहिलं. ओपन सोर्स हार्डवेअर OSH किंवा फ्री अँड ओपन सोर्स हार्डवेअर FOSH. FOSS फॉस वेगळा, FOSH फ्री अँड ओपन सोर्स हार्डवेअर, फ्री अँड ओपन सोर्स हार्डवेअर. ओके. FOSH. ठीक आहे. It consists of physical objects of technology. लेक्चर चालू आहे. हो चालेल. तेव्हा मी येतो तिकडे. हो. It consists of physical objects of technology designed and offered by open design movement. Okay. What is open source hardware? Open source hardware OSH. Free and open source hardware FOSH. OSH and FOSH. Okay. Open source hardware किंवा free and open source hardware. म्हणजे both free and open source, both the philosophies are mixed together. But this is not for software now, it is for hardware. So it consists of physical objects. Hardware are the physical objects. IC आहे, circuit आहे, breadboard आहे, all are physical objects, isn't it? RCC आहे, machine आहे, okay, tools आहेत, मेकॅनिकलचे, सिव्हिलचे, इलेक्ट्रिकल वायरिंग आहे, ओके, ऑटोमेशन आहे, रोबोटिक्स आहे, केमिकल्स आहेत, केमिकल इंजिनिअरिंगचे, ऑल आर फिजिकल ऑब्जेक्ट्स. हार्डवेअर, ऑल हार्डवेअर आर फिजिकल ऑब्जेक्ट्स. सॉफ्टवेअर फिजिकल असतात का ऑब्जेक्ट? नाही. सॉफ्टवेअर आर द कोड्स, सोर्स कोड्स इन द कॉम्प्युटर, digitally written sorry, digitally written codes are there. Hardware are objects. Okay, so it consists physical objects of technology designed and offered by open design movement. ओपन डिझाइन मुवमेंट. आता जर फिजिकल ऑब्जेक्ट बनवायचा असेल तर त्याला डिझाइन करायला लागेल. एखादा ब्रिज बनवायचा असेल, एखादी इमारत बनवायची असेल, बिल्डिंग बनवायची असेल तर त्याला डिझाइन करायला लागतं ना, की आरसीसीच्या सळया किती डायमेन्शन असणार, किती सळया वापरायच्या आरसीसीच्या, कुठलं सिमेंट वापरायचं आहे, किती ग्रेडचं सिमेंटचं प्रोपोर्शन काय वापरायचं आहे, वाळू किती वापरायची आहे, खडी किती वापरायची, डबर किती वापरायचं आहे, मग आरसीसी मध्ये आपल्याला किती दिवस ठेवायचं आहे, ते एक आठवडा ठेवायचा आहे की 21 दिवस ठेवायचा आहे, त्याला किती दिवस पाणी मारायचं आहे. आपले रोड बनवतात ना, रोड सिमेंटचे, तर ते बनवल्यानंतर किती दिवस आपल्याला त्याच्यावरून जाऊ देत नाहीत, त्याला बंद ठेवतात आणि त्याच्यावर पाणी मारतात. मग 21 दिवसांनी, 3 आठवड्यांनी, 1 महिन्यानी ते ओपन करतात सगळ्यांना. त्याला हार्डनेस कधी येतो. ओके, हे सगळं डिझाइन क्रायटेरिया आहेत, डिझाईनच्या क्रायटेरिया. समजा मास्क आहे, त्याचा कसा आकार असला पाहिजे म्हणजे तो चेहऱ्याला फिट बसेल, म्हणजे एअर त्याच्यातलं सर्क्युलेशन कमीत कमी राहील, ते डिझाइन आहे. चप्पल आपली असेल, चप्पल किंवा शूज असतील तर ते शूज कुठल्या परफेक्ट ऑप्टिमाइज्ड प्रकारे बनवता येईल म्हणजे ते आपल्याला पायाला आरामशीर राहतील, त्रासदायक होणार नाही, त्यात एअर सर्क्युलेट होईल. ते डिझायनिंग आहे, ते सुद्धा डिझायनिंग आहे. प्रॉडक्ट डिझाइन. कॉम्प्युटरची कॅबिनेट कशी बनवली पाहिजे, त्याला एअर सर्क्युलेशनला काय दिलं पाहिजे, फॅन कुठं दिला पाहिजे, मदरबोर्ड कुठं लावला पाहिजे, इट इज डिझाइन. मोबाईलचं डिझाइन आहे, मोबाईल प्रोडक्ट आहे, ते डिझाइन आहे. एव्हरीथिंग इज डिझाइन. बायसिकल कशी असली पाहिजे, त्याचं वेट किती असलं पाहिजे, 4 व्हीलर 2 व्हीलर किती असली पाहिजे, त्याचा टॉर्क किती असला पाहिजे, पॉवर किती, BHP किती असली पाहिजे, ॲव्हरेज त्यांनी किती दिलं पाहिजे, एव्हरीथिंग इज डिझाइन. सो हार्डवेअरला काय लागतं, डिझाइन. मग ती ओपन डिझाइन मुवमेंट असेल. ओपन डिझाइन मुवमेंट मीन्स व्हॉट, ते जे काय डिझाइन केलेलं आहे ते गुप्त ठेवायचं नाही, सिक्रेट ठेवायचं नाही, इट इज ओपन टू ऑल. सो इट इज कॉल्ड ओपन डिझाइन मुवमेंट. सो जर प्रोप्रायटरी असेल तर काय होईल, त्याचा ट्रेडमार्क कॉपीराइट असेल, इजंट इट. कॉपीराइट असेल सॉफ्टवेअरचा आणि याचा काय असेल, ट्रेडमार्क असेल. तो ट्रेड करण्यासाठी जो ट्रेडमार्क असेल त्याचा, त्याचं त्यांना हे घेता येईल, त्याचा इंटेलेक्च्युअल प्रॉपर्टी राईट घेता येईल. इंटेलेक्च्युअल प्रॉपर्टीचा राईट घेता, IP राईट घेता येईल त्याचा. तर एखादा ओनर असेल तर मग तो डिझाइन ओपन करणार नाही, त्या वस्तू बनवून विकेल तो. ओके, So hardware are a physical objects, and it consists of physical objects, and it is having its design. So the design movement will be there. Okay, design movement. So I think we'll stop today. We have just started the open source hardware, or free and open source hardware. Let us continue this tomorrow. Free and open source hardware. We'll continue it tomorrow. Okay. Thank you.